We welcome back Republican Senator Rand Paul from the state of Kentucky. Senator Paul, welcome as always, sir. I want to ask you about the fiscal cliff, the state of play. There's revenues on the table. There's tax rate increases on the table. I don't know if there's spending on the table. What's your thinking right now?
That it's a really, really bad idea to raise taxes. If you want your economy to grow, you should do the opposite. We need to cut taxes. That's how I'd stimulate the economy, leave more money in the private sector. So I think the president's got it exactly backwards. He's adamant about raising taxes, and he's dead wrong.
You know, there's some people saying, look, we need a deal to avoid a huge tax increase by year end that would throw us into recession. Just a thought. Would you compromise in terms of, let's say, a smaller tax rate increase? Let's say the top rate goes to 37 instead of 40. Maybe the threshold goes to 500,000 or 700,000 rather than 250. Does any of that rigmarole interest you?
No, but I would say that there's other compromises. What about means testings for entitlement? Why don't we say the rich get less Social Security and the rich pay more for their Medicare? That's a compromise. It meets the president's animus that we must get more money out of the rich. Let's just send less money to the rich. I'm also willing to compromise on military spending. The only thing I'm not willing to compromise is to throw out facts, throw out common sense and say, oh, let's take more money out of the private sector and maybe the economy will do better. It's a really, really bad idea to raise taxes. I think he'll perhaps send us into another recession.
Well, you may be right. As a Reagan supply sider, you know, my heart and head are with you on this, but I'm just trying to deal with the reality of this situation. It doesn't seem to me, Senator, that you can get a deal that would avoid a big tax hike unless you accept whatever spending cuts you can get, and I liked your list of entitlement cuts, plus some kind of revenue increase. What do you think of Mr. Boehner's idea? Cap deductions and get $800 billion revenues. Does that make any sense?
It's a tax increase. It's a bad idea. But here's another thought. I have yet another thought how we could fix this. Why don't we let the Democrats pass whatever they want? If they are the party of higher taxes, all the Republicans in the House vote present and let the Democrats raise taxes as high as they want to raise them. Let Democrats in the Senate raise taxes, let the president sign it, and then they can own a tax increase. And when the economy stalls, when the economy sputters, when people lose their jobs, they know which party to blame, the party of high taxes.
Yeah,
let's don't be the party of just almost as high taxes.
Some people have called that the doomsday scenario. Others have said, look, it's a strategic retreat on the Republicans' behalf. Would you vote present for that in the Senate if it came up?
Yes, I don't think we have to in the Senate. In the House, they have to because the Democrats don't have a majority. In the Senate, I'm happy not to filibuster it, and I will announce tonight on your show that I will work with Harry Reid to let him pass his big old tax hike with a simple majority, if that's what Harry Reid wants, because then they will be the party of high taxes and they can own it.
All right. I want to ask you one quickie. Your friend and mine, Senator Jim DeMint, resigning from the Senate, is going to take over as president of the Heritage Foundation. He helped elect you. You were one of his favorites. He is a great free market defender of capitalism. What you make of Jim DeMint leaving the Senate? Seems to me this is a blow to economic freedom.
Well, I think there's two ways to look at it. The way I look at it is I've jokingly said he's going to a better place. But I really am serious about that in the sense that it's a promotion. He's going to a big microphone. He will be a national spokesman for free markets, for libertarian conservative principles, for the Constitution. Heritage has a great 30, 40-year history of being on the right side of these issues. I think Jim DeMint will be a great spokesman for them.
He said that conservatism has got to spread more publicly, and that's one reason he's going. He wasn't happy with the 2012 elections. Do you think conservatism just didn't make the case in the elections last November?
Well, we always have to do a better job at how we speak about liberty, the Constitution, and how inclusive it is, and how it offers things to people who have not yet experienced the fruits of liberty. So I think we can always do a better job. But what I will say about Jim DeMint is he has really started and brought some liberty-minded libertarian/conservatives to the Senate. We have a pretty good caucus now. I mean, there's a real strong Jim DeMint influence in our caucus.
All right. Great stuff, Senator Rand Paul, Kentucky. Thank you, sir. All best.
Thank you.